Hey everybody, it's Jang here with a look at a LEGO Jurassic World set. This is Dilophosaurus Ambush. Forgive me if I pronounced that a little bit wrong. This comes with 248 pieces officially. First things first, bubble car, as they're calling it. I'm really happy to see one of these made by LEGO and compatible with regular LEGO minifigures. This thing is able to turn around, and you see it's got a seat inside of there, which is able to stay just at a given location. It's just, you can roll this thing around, and it's your minifig that sits in there is not going to be disturbed by it. This is really nicely done. Well, there are only a couple small things bad about this. For one, to get in there, to get at your minifigures, you got to pull off the side dishes, and then to get in there even further, you need to separate these halves, which they use Technic axles to hold those together, and you have to be kind of lucky, I would say, to get it to separate properly, where it'll separate both at the same end. If you accidentally get it to the point, which is very easy, I found in practice, where it pulls out from one corner and then the other corner at the same time, then they're not going to come apart. It's just going to become kind of a pain. But right there I was pretty lucky with it, and then you can put a minifigure in there who can sit pretty comfortably. And then just put on the other side. You can see this is just reversing on itself. So one side has the studs on this side, and then you just turn around the other one. It's two identical pieces. You got the two little Technic axles that go in there. Squeeze it in very closely to make sure that this will still rotate. And this is the one other issue with it, is that if you don't have it exactly right, where everything is squished together the exact correct amount, the guy on the inside isn't going to be able to rotate around very easily. So you have to kind of fiddle with it for a while to get it to a point where it will really be loose. Now he's set up correctly. He just kind of leans back a little bit, and you could lean him a little bit farther forward than that. Put a little plate piece under there if you want to, kind of adjust the center of gravity. But all in all, this thing I think looks good and works pretty well. Just has a few quirks to it. Most of the parts in the set go into building this Jeep, which I think is more of an homage to the original Jurassic Park series than anything. I'm not sure if they actually have Jeeps in the new Jurassic World movie. Obviously, as of the time of the recording of this video, the new movie is not out yet, so that remains to be seen. I thought that they were using just the Mercedes vehicles to get around in there as their smaller ones, but we'll see. The build of this was enjoyable for me as an adult builder. I liked the techniques that they used to put this thing together, and yet it's still simple and straightforward to follow the instructions and to get this successfully built. And I think the end result is something that looks very nice. It's much larger in scale than your typical LEGO City style vehicles and whatnot, but I think that it looks good. All told, it goes together well, and I even like how they've got the roll cage set up here. It's an interesting choice of using ball joints back here rather than just straight hinges to allow that to open up. They've got some interesting parts usage here with these new color of the crowbars. They're in blue. Previously we've only had those in red before. I think that's a good use there. This is the rigid 3mm tube piece that they use just to give it the length to grab on there. This will hold a minifigure plus, so you get some extra room. They've got some room back here. I've put the little cargo bits in the far back. You can also put them here, or you could try to set up an additional minifigure right there. These are just small things that have a couple of this one has a pair of binoculars and the wrench there for doing work on the thing if it breaks down, and then this one has some bait, so it's got just a turkey or chicken leg right there. The roll cage has a couple of brown lightsaber blade style bars towards the front, and then on the top here we've got a couple of flick fire missiles that you can actually shoot out, and those are intended to have tranquilizer dart style ends on them so that you can take down some reptiles that have gotten out of hand in the park. This back here is the cover for a spare tire holder. There's no actual spare tire under there, but they've got a little bit of a mechanism here where if you put those cargo containers back in this section, then you can actually make them come off by just turning this around. See, it's got just a small little lift arm in there that can just push those things out of the way. It's not much of a very useful little action, but it's something and didn't require many parts. I think this looks just fine from the back. Overall, I think the whole thing just looks very good, and it looks a little bit classic, just a little bit modernized. Yeah, good choice. Oh yeah, and then you've got a winch up here on the front with the hook being able to be placed more permanently, so it's not just hanging around. I appreciate that. Oftentimes they would do these things where the hook would have to get folded in behind there and it would fall out at strange times. This is just a very simple mechanism. There's really nothing to it. You're just wrapping the string around a gear, and they gave us the smallest size of gear in red here. There are actually 2 included in the set, so you get 1 spare, but that's how you just wind this thing up. You just put your hand directly on it. Keeps it a lot more compact than the standard Lego winch styles that use larger, more bulky pieces. Here's the Dilophosaurus. Again, forgive me, I'm not a paleontologist if I have pronounced that a little bit wrong. A lot of kind of a style of a frilled dragon lizard, the real modern small little lizard with these sections on the back that open up kind of wing-like as a display. But this is a pretty good looking little dinosaur. It's done in the lime green main color. The tail is not able to move or articulate at all. You've only got the ability to move the legs forward and back, and that includes the fronts as well as the rears. And then you've got a couple spots where you can kind of snap the head or the jaw up and down, and you can see that it also is able to turn because it's on a swivel. It can turn all the way around. So it's pretty expressive looking. I think that this is a good design, even though there's not a whole lot that you can do with it. I think it's very bright and colorful and looks good, and you can pose it well. The 2 minifigures are billed as gray on the left, and on the right is just a random ACU or Asset Containment Unit officer. I like how both of these look, although you've got a little bit of excessive kind of Hobbit style look on the figure on the left, but I very much like the darker skin tone that they've included for the ACU dude there. He doesn't have the extra vest that some of them do from some of the sets from this series, but that just allows you to appreciate the printing that's on the torso there, so that doesn't all get hidden away. And they kind of show the vest, just printed in, the detail there. Looking at the back of this head, you do get this additional face on that one, so that's a good one to have. And of course, Gray is going to be the one who will be driving around inside of the bubble car, and then the ACU dude will probably come along on the Jeep to try to help him out and save him from some tough situations. All told, I am happy with this set. I like the Jeep build, I like the dinosaur, I like the bubble car, even though it has its little issues of getting it to work just properly. I don't think they could have done it too much better as far as its design. And the minifigures are fine. You could always ask for more minifigures, but I think this is an okay number for the size of the set on the whole. I'm pretty satisfied with this thing. No real serious complaints about it. And I think it's well balanced, with the vehicle, the interesting thing with the bubble car, and then the kind of bad guy side with the dinosaur there and the figures. It just feels like it's a well-designed set on the whole, not just its components. So that's it for my look at this one. Please feel free to share your thoughts about this set with myself and the other viewers by leaving a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll be talking to you again very soon.